This is Rick from AC Poker and Refrigeration again. This customer that I just did the Whirlpool, I needed a starter capacitor, overload relay, and I put a 3-in-1 start kit on this one, and it's working fine. So now they have a second refrigerator that they need to have repaired, and this one's a Kenmore. I have to diagnose it. It usually doesn't take very long for me to diagnose them. So what we have here is we have no airflow in the refrigerator section. You have to feel here, nothing. So something's blocking the air from cooling the refrigerator. So this is a bottom freezer, and the freezer, they usually do work okay because this is where the cold plate is in the back here. I see, and yes, and in just a little while. You can see all the ice that's built up here. It's not supposed to do that. It is a self-defrosting refrigerator freezer. They usually go 3 times a day, about 20 minutes for the duration of the defrost system to defrost it. So what's happened here is, and I'm sure, I haven't taken it apart to make it 100%, but I've been doing this a long time. From experience, I know that the evaporator coils are frozen over, not allowing the air to travel up to the refrigerator. So I'm going to empty the freezer out, pull this back panel off, which is just some 1/4-inch nut here. So I have a 1/4-inch nut driver. I'll take that off, and then I will show you what the inside of the evaporator looks like, and it will be no surprise that it will be frozen. Okay, I'm gonna have to put it on pause so I can get my stuff together to take it apart. Okay, back on this Kenmore refrigerator freezer, bottom freezer. First thing to do is to remove the ice maker after you take the shelves out and the food. Okay, there's going to be 2 1/4-inch screws located right here. And one over here. I hope you can see that. And one on the bottom. Right there. Okay. Now I'm just going to have to unplug it. There's 2 little clips right here that you squeeze and pull. See, now we're unplugged. Okay. Now I'm going to need 2 hands to take that off. I'm going to put it on pause. Okay, I've removed the ice maker. Now there's 4 more 1/4-inch nuts to remove. This one's not too bad to repair to get to access. This is for the back panel. Then there's 2 screws, 1/4-inch screws for the air chute right here. Right here. This side. Again, I know from experience I'm going to open this up, it's going to be frozen solid, and that is the symptom. No air in the refrigerator, and it's warm. So this is not too bad. We'll diagnose it. There's a heater, defrost heater. There's a defrost overload, and there's the defrost timer. Now the newer ones have all that going through, not a defrost timer, but it'll be through the computer. Okay, now we're gonna have to remove one of these to be able to pull this out. So I'm gonna pull this side out so I can get access to it. You got a couple screws here. This is the only 2 screws. Okay, this one's good. It's only got 1. So you just pull it, and there's little clips in the corner there. Make sure you don't break them, and you pull it out gently. Okay, now that will give us access to be able to pull this out. If it's not frozen to the walls, we might have to do a little defrosting. All right, we're gonna work this to break it free, move it around a little bit. Okay, that plug we're gonna get out of the way too. All right, it's 2 little clips on the plug. There we go, that's out of the way. All right, now I'm gonna need 2 hands to work this panel, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, here we go. I'm back to you to show you the evaporator coils. I'm gonna pull this out. There we go. Now we're free. Now, as I said the evaporator is frozen solid, which has created a problem for the refrigerator. So I'm going to diagnose this. There's two pieces down here. One's going to be the overload, the defrost thermostat, which is located on this particular model. Somewhere down here. I'm going to take the ice off so you can see it. It's right there. Okay. Now this is a defrost thermostat. It's connected onto this evaporator by a clip. And you can see the little clip right there. I'm so sorry. Okay. This little clip that it clips back on like so. Onto this line again. All right, we don't have to put it back on just to show you, but we will when we're done. Okay, and that is connected by two wires, the orange, and usually it's a brown. Yep, brown. Now what we're going to do is use the ohm meter to test this to see, okay, if it's an overload protector, if the defrost thermostat, or if it's going to be the defrost heaters, which are attached to this wire. This black wire goes down to a heater. It should be a cow rod heater, but I won't know till I defrost it. But they're durable versus the glass heaters, which are very easy to break. The cow rod heaters, I call them, are very good, very reliable and durable. Okay, I gotta go get the amp probe so that I can diagnose this overload, the defrost control here, and we'll know that if that's good or bad, if we have continuity going through it, if the defrost thermostat right here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to remove the defrost thermostat, and we're going to test this with an ohm meter. Okay.
You want me to hold that for you?
Now, this is a multimeter. I'm going to use the center switch on this one for continuity. If it's got a connecting all the way through, if it's connected, it'll sound like this. That means that it's good. Okay, now we're going to put one here, and we're going to put one on the other end, and that is good. So the defrost thermostat is functioning and reliable. Now we have to check the defrost heater. Again, I'm just reversing the process. I've plugged in the first plug here, put it through the tie, and the second one's going to be plugged in. And then I'm going to mount it back where it came from, on this line right here, like so that it can read the temperature of the line. Okay, so I'm going to plug in the. Okay, before I plug this last wire onto the defrost thermostat, this black wire is attached to the heater, which is located right here, which runs down and it's underneath, which radiates the heat upwards. And this other side over here is the other side of the defrost heater. And if you trace it out, it goes from black to the white, which is this side here on the plug right here. So let's follow that. Black. I can unplug it here to test it, but I can also test it with this plug being still plugged in right here. So we're going to test that with the ohm meter and see if the defrost heater is functioning. Okay, once again, I've connected one side of my amp probe, which we're using the ohm meter at this point, and we're going to test it. And it's good. They're very reliable. As you can hear, it's got continuity traveling through the defrost heater, which goes underneath, across underneath here, and comes back up here and connects to the defrost thermostat. Okay. Okay, I've reconnected the defrost thermostat. I'm going to put the wires back over there so they're out of the way, and this is ready to go. So now we've got a good defrost thermostat and good heater. The only thing left is the defrost timer. Let's check that out together. Okay, this is Rick from AC Pocono Refrigeration. Back to the Kenmore repair diagnosis. Okay, the timer is usually located either under this kick plate or in the refrigerator section. This particular model is located underneath the kick plate. So we're going to remove that. And here's the timer right there. Now what you got to do is advance it clockwise, slowly. Right? Very slow. You want to put it into defrost manually. And there it is. Now it's on the defrost mode. Now you have to take your amp probe to see if it's working. Now, I have a suspicion it's going to work. Let's see. Here we go. We're going to put the meter onto amps, and we're going to connect it onto one of the wires in the system. And as you can see, it's not quite working. So I'm thinking we do have a faulty defrost thermostat. Okay, I'm going to replace that defrost thermostat with a new one because the old one has a crack on the bottom. It's not reliable, so I'm going to replace it with a brand new defrost thermostat. Okay, that's very simple. Just got to disconnect those two wires and connect these two wires and put a wire nut on it and put some tape on it. Okay, I also brought in a torch so that I can take the ice off so that the unit will work immediately for the homeowner and it'll be fully back in service and functioning. You see how you... And don't let the torch, if you do it this way, don't let the torch stay in one position. Move it constantly, because those fins are aluminum and they will get very hot and start to warp. Okay, so you just have to be gentle until all the ice is gone, and then the unit will work immediately. They don't have to wait for the next defrost cycle to take the ice off, because the defrost thermostat, new out of the box, isn't going to turn on the defrost system because it's too warm. It has to be below 30 degrees for the defrost thermostat to function, to make it go through a defrost.